Cradling and dodging around pylons are some of the best ways to develop a player's competency handling the ball. In this drill, otherwise known as the slalom drill, coaches can arrange players into any straight, zigzag, or combined formation using half the floor or full floor with lines on both sides in order to maximize the number of reps for participants. Lines of players can start behind the goal line, in opposite corners in opposite ends, or at center floor facing one direction or the other, which is usually best for younger players. Beginning with simply cradling the ball through the pylons in variation 1, coaches can build up the speed at which they request players to go through the pylons, whether practicing cradling or dodging. Another progression of this drill would be for players to work their way through the cones in the triple threat position. Beginners can be told to start at walking speed, which emphasizes the coordination of cradling, taking their first step with the opposite leg of the side the player holds the stick on, closing and opening their cradle with each step they take. Build this up to a jog at around 50% speed, eventually progressing to 75, 90, and later 100%. The next player in line shouldn't go until the player in front of them is around the second pylon in order to avoid congestion. After going around the last pylon, players take a shot on the goalie, which could be an inside shot, outside shot, or whatever the player prefers in order to not have them thinking about too many things at once. Ideally, players have had a lesson in shooting from their proper floor side prior to this drill, perhaps with a refresher before, as some players may inevitably be finishing on their wrong floor side. When this is the case, players should be encouraged to drift over to their proper floor side after clearing the last pylon. Otherwise, coaches can arrange the drill so players are always on their proper floor side when they finish.
I just want to highlight one last thing is that if I'm on offense, I'm rarely kind of with the stick like this. Often I have the stick here, right, and I'm running like this. It's trailing behind me as I'm trying to go to the net. Some of us had the ball here, and then it ends up falling out. Just like when we shoot and our stick's on this 45-degree angle, when I'm protecting the ball, look at how tight it is to my body. And I've got it on this 45-degree angle here. Because if I hang it out here, they can kind of get around you a little bit and slap your stick and knock it loose.
In variation number 2, players should make a move at the pylon, aka a dodge, using the same setup as previously described. A dodge is a quick movement or fake movement, usually toward the opponent's net, with or sometimes without the ball, using quick foot, head, and sometimes arm and hand movements, starting at roughly a stick's length away from a defender. Successful dodges are usually set up with changes in speed and direction, ideally with side-to-side or east-west movement coming out of the dodge with speed and power. There are many different styles of dodges, described primarily by the action taken towards the net. The most basic dodges in lacrosse, in no particular order, are the jab step or hitch step, whereby a player plants off of a stiff outside leg and pushes hard into the middle of the floor, assuming they're on their proper floor side. The opposite of a hitch step is a face dodge, where the player plants off of their inside leg and pulls their stick from the triple threat position by their ear across their face to the other side of their body. This move is usually used to go underneath or on the board side of the defender, presuming that the player is on their proper floor side. The last basic dodge that should be taught to beginners is the roll dodge, which can be an inside roll towards the middle of the floor or an outside roll towards the boards. An inside roll is often the most useful in the offensive end of the floor to free up a player's hands in the middle of the prime scoring area, with the outside roll usually feeling the most natural and used more often in gameplay.
Those are the roll dodges in an offensive setting. It's also very good in the open floor. Oh, somebody's trying to D up in the open floor. Boom, I'm gone. Running up the middle like we learned yesterday, not along the boards. Okay. The other most basic move, and we learned about the triple threat position on the first day, is, so I've got the ball right here, and I'm bringing it across my face, again at about a stick length away. I wouldn't want to do it right here, because I'm basically just stripping myself of the ball if I get too close. But I come up, right at about a stick length away, I do that one. Okay, so everybody with the ball right now, put it up in the triple threat position. The reason we call it a face dodge is because we pull it across our face like this, from one side of our body to the other. bring it like this, good. Momentum keeps the ball in your stick. You can literally start doing this, and the ball's facing you, right? Good. Another key thing here, when I do these moves, I need to get a little bit of what I would call east-west action. I don't want to go at Ryan and just do a circle like this and go right into him. Or even a face dodge where I go like that, and boom, I'm still going to get hit. I make the move, but I also get side to side in the move. So I come up, I go, and I'm getting a little bit to the side. I'm not running straight at him. And likewise with the face dodge, coming up, boom, I get this way and around him. So when we get going here in a second, dodging through cones, you're going to come up. I don't want to see you come up and go. Right? I want to see you come up. Get a little bit to the side, a little bit to the side, and get that east-west, side-to-side motion within the dodge.
Coaches can tell players to move through the pylons using only face dodges, for instance, only hitch steps, or only roll dodges, rolling only to the left or only to the right. Otherwise, as players progress with their competency, coaches can have them roll left, then roll right every other cone. Or face dodge one cone, hitch step the next. And finally, doing whatever dodge they want at each cone as they approach. Other more advanced offensive moves include using stutter steps, which is sometimes used to set up your subsequent dodge, as well as things like toe drags and swimming, which should be discouraged for beginner and intermediate players, sticking to the basics instead.
Good. Nice. Good. Anticipate it, right? So watch. I might come forward, I might drop back. You gotta, so I'm here, now I'm coming. Oh, make your move. Protect that ball though. Don't leave it right in front of you. Nice roll. Nice face dodge, good, yeah. Good. A little more left, right. That's a little early, right? Try to be a stick length away. Good, good, good.
One last option for advanced players is to incorporate one-handed cradling into the movements described above, starting with just cradling through the pylons and protecting the ball on the outside of each cone. This is more of a field lacrosse technique, but it does have its place in the open floor or when protecting the ball or gathering a loose ball in box lacrosse. That said, it's pretty hard to pass and or score with only one hand on the stick, so this technique should be used sparingly.